Well, I've been working in the kitchen for about 20 minutes or so, making some bread. My wife and I eat the same breakfast every morning. We eat this whole wheat bread. She usually makes it in the bread machine, but once in a while I make it by hand. I make a double batch, and we both agree it comes out best when you make it by hand rather than using the bread machine. But it takes a bit of work. It takes a bit of time. And I really enjoy making bread. It's such a hands-on experience. But, you don't always have time to do it. And of course, it's not only a matter of the time it takes to put the dough together. Then you've got to knead it for a while. Then you've got to let it rise. And the rising process can take quite a while, a couple hours. And then you've got to bake it, of course. And if you make unleavened bread, I suppose the process could all be quickened a bit. But on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, Jesus appears to his disciples who are fishing, and when they come off the boat onto the shore, he's got bread waiting for them.
The other disciples came to shore in the boat, pulling the net full of fish. They were not very far from land, about 100 yards away. When they stepped ashore, they saw a charcoal fire there with fish on it and some bread. So Jesus went over, took the bread, and gave it to them. He did the same with the fish. This then was the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples.
The resurrected Christ has bread waiting for them. So I'm asking you, did the resurrected Christ do what I'm doing right now? Mix up some dough and knead it, wait for it to rise? Or did he maybe go into town, the resurrected Christ, go into town and wander in a bakery shop, in a bakery, and buy some bread? Here is a loaf of bread that Jesus might have purchased in town like Capernaum or Tiberias. This loaf of bread is actually 2,000 years old. It was in a oven in the city of Pompeii when it was destroyed by the eruption of Vesuvius. It's kind of ironic. It's a loaf of bread that's been turned into stone instead of what Jesus might have done, turned stone into bread. Where'd the bread come from? Where'd the fish come from? The resurrected Christ. I'm wondering if the way the devil told him in the temptation in the wilderness, turn these stones into bread. If you're the Son of God, turn these stones into bread. And of course, the Lord refused to turn the stones into bread. And I would think that Jesus would have that power to do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't have even been a temptation. And so maybe it was time when the resurrected Christ could pick up a stone on the shore of the Sea of Galilee and turn it into bread right there and serve it to his disciples. Well, I've taken quite some time to knead this dough, push it around on the countertop here, and now it's time to cover it up and wait for it to rise. This is not a cooking show, so I'm afraid that I'm going to have to work on some cleanup here. On the cooking shows, the cook never does any of the cleanup. Well, I talked to my wife about that. She said, "You're making bread, you're doing the cleanup." So what do you think about the resurrected Jesus? Did he do his own cleanup? Build his own fire? Bake his own bread? Catch his own fish? And make a meal for the disciples on the shore of the Sea of Galilee? Let's talk about it. God bless.